Welcome to the Wicked Radio Network.
Recorded to you live from the Sergeant Joe West Positive Reinforcement Seminar. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast.
That was good, though. That was good.
Thank you. That was like the best intro ever.
Yeah.
Hey kids, we're back. It's the Wicked Theory Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Bill Sweeney. I've been here before. I'll be here again. But always, I'm bringing my buddy Dom.
What's going on?
And my brother Bob.
Hello, hello.
Bob's on the guitar. Oh, he did it again. All right, so it's another week down, so that brings us back here. What are we doing? What's going on?
Next victim.
We're Edless this week.
We are. Oh, there's no Ed.
But is that part of the show?
Is that part of the show? Or is Ed part of the show? What did you say?
Ed.
Yeah.
Is Ed a normal,
He's our regular
co-host?
guest. I like
or
to
regular
say
guest.
I like his official title to be our regular guest.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he's a regular guest, but he's like the one we go to all the time to fill a slot. Like, you know what I mean? But this week he had some stuff to do, and then next week.
Too good for us this week, huh, Ed?
Yeah, well, it's all right.
Yeah, he's sleeping in.
He sends the emails though. He don't stop.
That's good.
The email train don't stop with our brother Ed there. You know what I mean? But yeah. So, I guess there's that. You know what I mean? There's no Ed.
So,
are you heartbroken or something?
No, not at all. I was just wondering.
Okay.
I just wanted to, make it official.
Make it official, make some kind of clarification.
Yeah.
And right now is like, Bill still didn't, that's like, still not any more clarified.
No. It's
Bill's
clear,
still being vague as fuck.
So, anyways, before we go any further,
yeah,
I'd just like to throw it out there that we do another podcast.
Holy crap.
As if this one isn't bad enough, we decided to do another one.
Yeah, because I'm insane. It was my idea, and you guys were like, okay.
And that one is called Preacher v. Preacher, Preacher versus Preacher, however you would like to say it.
However you say it in your town.
But you can find that on iTunes. That is going to be a complimentary podcast to the upcoming AMC series, Preacher. It was a 90s comic from that was published by Vertigo.
I like Vertigo. I think that's the
Vertigo,
French.
Vertigo.
I think in France that's how they pronounce it. Vertigo.
So check that out. There's only one episode.
Adult titles.
Right.
What was that?
I thought that was for the more adult titles.
Right,
That's true.
Right.
Vertigo is adult, and then Vertigo is
has
ultra adult.
Is ultra adult. There you go.
So just check that out. There's only one episode up right now. We're waiting for the show to drop. We're excited about it. But follow that account on Twitter at Preach VS Preach, and check us out on iTunes.
Yeah, we are kind of planning to try and do another, warm up episode kind of a thing as more news gets dropped or the previews start to come out a little bit more.
We are?
Well, loosely it's the plan. I mean, hey, it may not happen. I'm not promising. I'm just saying in the back of my head.
I mean, if you know anything about the show, if not, no worries. But if you do know anything about
which show, this show, that show,
or
the Preacher show?
Both.
There's three shows.
Which show did it?
I'm talking about
this show, the Preacher show, or the other Preacher show?
That's what I said.
Talking about Preacher on AMC.
I was clarifying Preacher. Which Preacher?
I was talking about Preacher on AMC.
Right.
If you know anything about that show, you would know that the only real thing that we've gotten from it so far is the trailer. Teaser, actually.
Sure.
So, like Bill said, we really haven't gotten much yet. We're still a few months out from the actual series debut. So I think once we get a little bit closer, I mean, I would imagine within the next few weeks we got to get something.
Yeah, people go listen to that because I'm paying for that Libsyn account, and it would be nice if it got some activity once in a while.
Yeah,
maybe they're just not, they're taking it easy right now because they don't want to get lost in the sea of Superman, Batman trailers.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. There are a lot of those. So now that is out of the way, as they say. I don't know. This is kind of like this is where we do the emails, right?
Well, unless you want to do a little meanwhile.
You know what? Let's do a little meanwhile real quick.
I got a one meanwhile.
You got a one? I got a one. You got a one? What's your one?
You want to kick it off?
Oh, we don't have to kick it off. Is mine gonna take longer? Because you know what mine is already.
That's true. No, you know what? I'll start.
Okay, that's good.
Meanwhile,
So, I have been watching a show on Showtime. It's called Billions.
Oh, that's mine's.
Billions.
I'm Bill.
yours?
For
Oh, Billiams?
Yeah.
It's not Billiams. It's Billions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. I get confused.
Right.
Right. It's N, not M.
Gotcha.
Right. So, this show is very good, and it's flying heavily under the radar. Everyone I talk to that watches a lot of TV is like, oh, what the fuck is that? I never even heard of it.
Well, I can even say on Monday, you basically cornered me, and you were like, you got to watch fucking Billions. I mean, maybe not that aggressive, but you basically were like, dude, you got to watch this fucking show,
well,
please.
You know what? It's very good, but I'll read the quick synopsis here online that I have in front of me. It's wealth, influence, and corruption collide in this drama set in New York. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Shrewd U.S. Attorney Chuck Rhodes is embroiled in a high-stakes game of predator versus prey with the ambitious hedge fund king Bobby Axelrod. To date, Rhodes has never lost an insider trading case. He's 81-0. But when criminal evidence, I didn't even know that, but when criminal evidence turns up against Axelrod, he proceeds cautiously in building the case against Axelrod, who employs Rhodes' wife, psychiatrist Wendy, as a performance coach for his company. Wendy, who has been in her position for longer than Chuck has been in his, refuses to give up her career for her husband's legal crusade against Axelrod. Both men use their intelligence, power, and influence to outmaneuver the other in this battle over billions. The high-profile cast is led by Emmy winners Paul Giamatti and Damian Lewis as Chuck Rhodes and Bobby Axelrod, respectively.
No, it's and that's not. But there's other.
There's a bunch of other people in it.
That's what I was gonna say. That's just touching.
I mean, no one really. That's like anyone huge. Like
right,
like
but these
the
are people
two main guys
are
like
stuff before.
Yeah,
kind of
but
familiar faces in a way.
Yeah, the guy who plays Wendy, Rhodes' wife. She's you would probably know her from Sons of Anarchy. She plays Tara. She played Tara on that show. That was Jax's girlfriend /
Oh, she's
wife.
good. I'm glad to see that she's got something nice.
Yeah,
good work.
And damn, I can't think of her name. Malin Ackerman. I think that might be it. She plays Axelrod's wife, but you would definitely know her from a bunch of shit.
Okay.
But anyways, if you have Showtime, check it out. If not, I would probably say it's worth building a subscription to Showtime for the show.
So it's definitely not like, hey, we're just following the criminals, right? Like in the way that like Sons of Anarchy was about, we are following, like in a sense, or Breaking Bad, like we're following just the bad guy. In this, we're actually following a guy who's trying to do some investigation, is trying to take somebody down.
Well, yeah.
Or is the main guy corrupt too?
Well, actually, it's kind of split between it's not like a main guy. Like,
well, I got you. It's a little bit
Axelrod and Rhodes, Paul Giamatti and Damian Lewis. Like they're both the main characters.
Gotcha.
You get like equal screen time between the two of them.
Sure.
But
for the most part,
the guy that's
kind of
the finance guy, Axelrod, he's the one that's doing the majority of the criminal activity,
gotcha.
like most finance guys
do.
And supposedly, I've heard once or twice, 2005, 2008.
Small, brief period.
And the U.S. attorney is just he really just has a bone with the guy. Like he just really can't stand him, and he's just trying to bring him down.
All right.
And
all right.
And it's really intense. It's really, really well acted. The guy from Daredevil, I couldn't really tell you his name, but the guy who plays Kingpin's like right hand.
Oh, the guy with the glasses.
He's in that show also.
Okay.
And he's very good.
I like that guy.
Very good.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's been around.
He gets.
He's a really good douche.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's his
douche. Yeah, that's his history.
Yeah, no, he actually surprisingly doesn't really play a douche in the show. He plays one of the lawyers with the U.S. attorney, and he's pretty cool. Actually, I like his character a lot.
Oh, if he's involved with the U.S. attorney, though, I mean, he's got to be a douche.
I guess so.
To a degree.
He's a U.S. attorney.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yes. So if you're looking for an escape from all this superhero, comic book, and fantasy
genre
stuff,
that we're
take a look at this.
Covering, yeah.
It feels a little bit like The Wolf of Wall Street. That type of feel. So
and just real quick, in that same kind of way, I'll say, still watching Outsiders and still digging that.
Yeah. Yep.
Just
absolutely.
It's good.
There are moments where I'm a little bit like, okay, it's a little silly or it's a little corny or it's not quite what I feel like would really happen. But for the majority of it, like, so good. And last week's I thought was really good. Not to belabor the point or get on to it.
Yeah, didn't we see a little bit more of our favorite actor in that show?
We did. I think he might have had 2 lines of that.
Yeah, I think he actually had 2 lines.
But what I kind of was surprised by was like this, that the whole episode was like this thing where Foster and Ace.
Yeah, they kind of got together and did something.
The skinniest guy with the deepest, weirdest voice that just never feels like it fits on him.
Well, he's European, that guy, right? The actor.
I'm just saying, I wear about $1.25.
He's not American,
I can't even
right?
do it. It's so reedy and deep. I can't even do it. I don't know where he's from.
I don't think he's American, so I'm sure that's the reason why his accent is like that, because he's probably trying extra hard to put on that deep Southern
dialing
accent.
it in is a little bit of a challenge, I'm sure.
Yeah. But
it's got to be a little funny for him if he's from Europe, because people from the South, the Deep South, their ancestry is from Europe, so that's where the accent kind of comes from. But it's often in such a way that it's got to be hard for somebody with an European accent to adapt.
Yeah, I think
it's kind of close, but not close, so it's hard to pin down.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. See that. In the meanwhile section, still, Dom, here's what I need you to do.
What do you need me to do, Bill?
Go get a fucking knife.
Go get a knife?
Yeah.
Why do I need a knife?
Oh, fine. Don't get a knife. I gotta cut this. I gotta cut this thing. I gotta cut this loot crate that I had to fucking fight to go get. Just right out of the butcher block, buddy. Give me something big and stupid and over, and well over dramatic for this. Thank you, sir. The bread knife he gets. Perfect.
Bread knives are pretty sharp.
They damn well are. All right, so this loot crate fucking came late. It's my late loot
unboxing.
Crate. And they were like, oh, hey, I know we never do this, but we're going to have to send you a tracking information. I just threw I shouldn't have done that.
So what did I get?
So you got nothing. No, I don't know. Maybe we'll wrestle for something. So this month's loot crate is all about the dead. So it's Deadpool and Walking Dead.
You're gonna make me jealous now.
I am.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Can I pay you for that shirt?
That's pretty awesome already. Now I say we put that up on the wall in the studio here.
It's a Deadpool shirt. He's upside down, suspended on cables, and he's like, tacos.
Yeah, it looks like that Tom Cruise Mission Impossible thing.
I want it.
This might be the best loot crate ever, and I think this might be my last one, to be honest with you. Some kind of Deadpool exclusive loot crate figure. Check that out.
Is it Deadpool
it's the
opening a loot crate?
There's like an explosion behind him propelling him forward.
Yeah. Very cool. Take a look at
classic
that,
loot crate pin that now is no longer a button. It's actually a pin.
Nice.
Like a nice
Getting something for your money.
Yeah, he's got the explosion in his back, so his arms and his legs are thrown backwards behind him, and he's being thrown forward.
There you go. Not that I'll ever use this, but Walking Dead soap on a rope, and it's a bunch of ears.
Oh my god!
On a rope, like zombie. Like
Daryl had. I think that should be a. I think
that Daryl or Michonne?
That's our next quiz gift.
Yeah. This is definitely. This is going right out.
Yeah, that's the quiz gift. Definitely. I don't want to see that anywhere near the shower.
No, please no. So I guess Dom's gonna. If you want to take a quiz.
I'll take a quiz. No one gives me quizzes.
No one gives me quizzes no more.
Yeah, we'll put ears. We'll open up the box. We'll put ears in both boxes.
And of course, the Loot Crate magazine that comes with every issue, with every box.
So that's it from the Walking Dead stuff. Just the fucking.
Just this and a little Walking Dead figure. You can have that, buddy.
No, we can give this out.
No, I have a lot of small stuff like that to give out. So.
We'll build up.
So you're going to wear that shirt, Bill, or you're going to...
We've been building up for a while.
Have we?
We need to build up guests. just to dull down the old Loot Crate prize closet.
Then I'll take it upon myself to open.
You can open it up. Let's say what it is. Kind of describe it. It's like a
all right. So it's called a construction set. So it's a collective figure.
Walking Dead.
Contains one of the three on the cover, and let me just tell you, on the cover you see a zombie,
sure,
a Rick Grimes,
and
a Daryl. So
my name's Daryl.
But it's gonna be Christopher Walken inside.
Nah, you're never gonna get anything.
No, it's not from that Christopher
It's not that
Walken
kind of
Dead.
dead. It's not.
It's not the Christopher Walken Dead collection.
The Walking Dead.
I got a
zone.
Daryl.
You got a Daryl,
and I got to build him.
Oh my God! You know you can probably sell that online for like $300 right now, just because it's Daryl.
Probably.
The mid-price sedan is the middle C.
So these are like these micro figures. I think does Todd McFarlane's company make these?
Yes.
So these tend to be a real fun little thing to put together. Sometimes.
I'll be putting it together for the rest of the show, probably.
All right, then. I'll keep it moving while Dom does some assembly.
That'll keep Dom busy for a while.
We'll come back. He'll let us know when it's done. So we can tease that out with some other stuff. Later on in this episode, you'll hear Dom complete this figurine.
Yeah, we usually
Hopefully it doesn't take that long.
No.
Usually to keep Dom occupied, we just use a laser pointer and flash it on the wall.
There you go. And he scampers around.
Yeah.
You got to get video of that. All right, and then we're gonna hit some comic stuff. We got some movie news. We got some TV news. We got a couple things in the reboot report. And because Ed's not here, we're actually gonna skip the Markham movie collection because not only because he's just not here to have his share of the review, but also because who else is gonna do the voice? I know Bob can do a decent movie guy, but and I can do a decent movie guy. But Ed now is officially the movie guy.
Yeah,
we
can't take that away from him.
So we gotta let him have his moment to shine. So
yeah,
we're going to come back to that. But in the meantime, we are going to jump into some email stuff, which includes Ed. So it's got some Ed mails.
So Ed's here.
In spirit, man. In spirit and in email. Ed's here. Email. Got some email. So where to begin? I guess we're going to start with Ed. Ed's got a few in here.
There he is. There's our little Daryl.
Daryl's done. And and on this line, they have like cartoonishly embiggened heads.
Yes.
Not that embiggened is a word, but
you can take a little pic of that.
Yeah.
Almost bobblehead proportion for a 2-inch or 3-inch.
Nice. So if you follow Dom on Twitter, you can see this picture that he's going to take and put up.
Who said I was going to post it?
Well, that's true. Fair enough. Maybe you'll save it.
Well, now you
for
have to.
Maybe you'll save it for our non-existent Patreon or something like that. Or one day when we do one or something.
It's true. I could do that.
You could do that. Oh, if you're a member, you could see your picture. So, Ed's first question, as always, starts, gentlemen, what fictional couple in a platonic relationship do you wish you could see together romantically? So who's two people who don't date in comics or, was it comics?
I think you just said fictitious.
Fictional, yeah, fictional couple. Do you wish you could see together? Like, who would be a good couple to hook up?
It was Rick and Michonne.
But now it's kind of like
and now
official.
that one's official.
That one's kind of happening.
I don't know.
Spoiler.
I guess
post-spoiler.
Fuck off. If you didn't see the episode, it was like 2 weeks ago.
Agreed.
Fuck. I don't know. Maybe.
Off the top of my head, I really can't. I mean, I'd put Peter and Mary Jane back together. Put them back together. I mean, not that that's two people who never dated or were never
Mary
hooked
Jane's
up.
banging Tony Stark
not
right now in the
yet,
comics.
but give it time, I guess. I don't know.
That just seems so uncomfortable.
What the actual?
Me. I mean, that the whole idea of her with Tony Stark.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point,
Why, it makes you uncomfortable? You have a crush on her?
No, it's
bro, it's just not cool, bro. It's
dude,
just not cool, man. I was supposed
Mary
to hook
Jane.
up.
I mean, Mary Jane's been with Peter since the 60s.
Yeah, it is an odd kind of thing.
So that's what's in my head. So
well, the oddest part about it is really that it's just like it's a personality swap. Pete's finally turned into fucking Tony, and she happens to leave and then meet Tony, and actually supposedly may or may not hook up with him down the line. We'll see whatever happens.
Okay.
But anyway, as far as this goes, fictitious couple that's platonic that I want to see them hook up. I've really never even shipped. Like, you know what I mean? That's basically he's asking us who do we ship? Yeah. That whole relationshipy fan nut
well,
job
you know what?
thing
Actually,
that goes on now.
Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow.
Oh, I wouldn't have picked Jon.
Really?
You know you got to hook up with Daenerys.
Me?
I don't know. Other than that, I can't think of anybody. No, I was going to say Tyrion.
Okay.
If anybody's going to get is going to work his way into her heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be that guy.
They're about the same height, so.
I mean, it's not that big a deal because she's already kind of short. She's not that tall of a lady.
Right.
But I don't know.
Maybe Daryl and Carol.
Daryl and a bullet.
Daryl.
That's what I want. I want Daryl and his own crossbow. I want him to load it and then trip on it and just get himself caught up through the upside of his jaw. Does that mean?
No.
He's a fictitious character, right? I can't be held accountable.
Not unless you go and do it, but
Negan.
even then, it's
that's
still
true,
fictitious, you know. So
Negan
what are you
and
doing?
Carl?
Destroying paper?
Yeah, Negan and Carl. I want some babysitting. I think he needs a good chaperone for a little while, which we might get.
All right. So what else we got?
I don't know. So for that one, I got nothing. So Ed's next one. That's exactly right, Pop. Gentlemen, when was the last time any of you paid for a shoe shine?
Never.
I've never.
I could honestly say that was the last time I was on the Staten Island ferry.
Okay, the Shine guy.
Shine.
He's finally gone. But that was how it tells you how long it's been
on the Staten Island ferry.
I think
years.
I was born after that all died out.
Yeah, like that weekend when Shoe Shine's finally.
Yeah, so I can't say
like the last Shoe Shine
one.
stand closed.
Yeah.
But never. It's never happened. For me, even when I was a kid, and the Shoe Shine guy used to be on the boat every day.
He did my sneakers for like $1.
Yeah, he used to do everything. He had the whole kit. He'd walk around with his box, pull your feet up, put it right on top.
I mean, like
I
heard
he put 2 kids through college doing that.
That's what they say. Yeah.
I mean, I have my grandfather's
old
kit.
Shine.
Like I have like his like Shine box kit.
Right.
And like before, like I go out or whatever, like if I have like a something where I got to wear dress shoes too or something like that, like I'll do it. But I've never actually paid someone or like sat on the big chair and had like,
imagine?
Hey Johnny, how's it going today while I'm reading my newspaper?
How you doing now, Skipper?
Yeah,
how's things going, champ?
Yeah. They used to do that in the ferry when I was a kid. So you could sit down at the booth and do that.
We had many guys, coming in and out of the city. So
for years before they renovated the ferry terminal, they actually still had the booth up for rent, but no one rented it because no one does it anymore. So
what's funny here is that because I've been helping out on the WCBJ radio podcast, that Ed sent me a notice that some of the emails I sent you might have been intended for that show.
Oh.
And now that I did that show on Wednesday, indeed they are.
So we could read them on here.
Well, I read that one on here. Okay. That one was actually one that as I read it, I realized.
So now we're stealing their emails.
Well, Ed is just kind of maybe doubling up, thinking that maybe...
maybe he was doubling up the whole time.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? No. And actually, on some of them, he did.
And now we only realize it because you're on the show.
I never called him out, but on a couple of them, he has.
What the fuck?
He's used one email on both shows.
Ed, you're
never
welcome
to this
back
degree.
You're never welcome back here
I don't know,
on the show
man.
again.
Should we give him back his chair?
I don't know. Literally.
No, because I'm sitting on it right now, and it's way too comfortable.
Well, I can't get it today then.
All right, so we'll keep the chair.
I'll throw this in anyway. How do you think DC's Rebirth will affect the Green Lantern Corps? And that's obviously a question he was throwing out to the guys at the Comic Book Jones podcast, WCBJ Radio. So, I mean, I have no comment. I don't know nor have enough knowledge of it to ponder. As contrary to what I usually do.
I think it'll.
I'm sure it's going to be trimmed down. I mean, it's a pretty convoluted plot line.
I mean,
story.
if anybody wants to hear people try and answer that to a degree too. I mean, did you have something? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, I'm not really like a huge like Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
I'm from.
What's wrong with you, man?
I'm sorry. I'm from here.
I'm not really a huge fan, so I mean, I'm not really reading the book right now. But I mean, if they come out with cool titles after Rebirth, I guess I'll pick them up.
Yeah.
Come on, we know you have that tattoo of Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern.
I do.
On your back.
And it's animated. It's not even like a real tattoo.
What?
Yeah.
Technology.
It's animated like the suit.
All right, so Ed's other question that he sent to them that he also sent to us that we'll read anyway. Do you ever wear Hawaiian shirts?
Of course. Kidding me?
Like every day,
Over
bro.
the summer, dude? Come on.
The summer? That's one of your regular dress down?
Absolutely.
Dude,
yeah, that's a style?
absolutely. Out here in San Diego, it's all we wear.
You got the ones like Guy Fieri? It's all flames on the bottom? And
No.
I just want the Camaro that he uses.
All right. So his actual question here for us. Is anybody excited by Zoolander 2?
No.
No, not really.
Ditto on that.
Just
I heard it bombed in
excited
the
to
box
see how
office, right?
how bad he looks now, how much older.
I think he's running out of questions. Here's his next one. Have any of you ever worn sunglasses inside? He's running dry here, folks. He's
Bye,
running
Ed.
dry.
Goodbye. That's enough of you, sir.
Oh, boy. And then...
Hey.
And then, oddly enough, the next email is quality laser safety glasses supply.
Really? They sent us an email?
Yeah, but right after Ed asks about sunglasses. These laser safety glasses have arrived in our mailbox. I'm wondering if Ed may have forwarded this. I don't know. It's from China. All right.
So I'm trying to...
So here's one of his real questions. Gentlemen, which never-made Superman movie, for instance, Superman Lives or this Justice League, Mortals, etc., do you wish you could actually see today? So the Superman Lives, if you're not familiar, is the one Tim Burton was going to make with Nicolas Cage. And actually, there's a documentary out now, whatever happened to that movie.
Well, I would actually like to have seen if that one... If we could go back in time and have that one made, because then maybe they wouldn't be making movies now.
Well, what's surprising is that in that
They'd be
documentary,
like, we got to take a break for a while.
in that documentary, there's enough test footage that you kind of can start to get a feel and enough descriptions of like what was going to be in it. That whoa,
really,
what a fucking so different. It should have just been called something else. Like that's where it was coming down to.
A Bizarro Superman movie.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if it's got Tim Burton and Nick Cage, it's fucking Bizarro.
That's my point. You know?
Very good, very good.
Just take all the footage, make something out of it, and call it a Bizarro movie.
Yeah, I'd probably say the Justice League Mortal movie, just because that was the one that George Miller was supposed to do, right?
Yes.
So I respect George Miller. I respect
think
that he
would
would
have been interesting to
have
see.
made a good flick. I know that the cast
would have been a world different from what we're seeing now.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it would be
yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah. I know that the cast was a little like D-list celebrity-ish.
Okay.
Like
not the cream of the crop. Like
I think like the biggest actor or whatever that was rumored for that movie was that I'm pretty sure Common was supposed to play John Stewart.
John Stewart, Green Lantern.
So everyone else was like, you've seen them before, but they were no one big like what we have now, like Henry Cavill
like we got
Ben
these
Affleck
A-list, these super A-list guys that are getting that.
Right. But I mean, to that token, I really didn't know who Henry Cavill was before Superman, before Man of Steel. So who knows what could have been?
Could have been. Could have been. So,
and on top of that, I wouldn't hate to see Nick Cage as fucking Superman. So.
At this point, I don't want to see Nick Cage as much of anything superhero related.
No.
I think like him being Ghost Rider was as good as he. As crazy as him being anything, that worked. That fit.
I actually enjoyed both of those movies. I know a lot of people
works
hate
for
them,
that kind of a character. That's fine. That fits his wheelhouse. That's good. I don't want to see him be anybody else.
That's true enough.
Doctor Strange.
Oh my God.
That would have been.
That would have been a travesty.
Dormammu. All right. So
Jumanji.
Yeah, I wish I could do some I almost said Keanu.
Keanu. He'd be a good Doctor Strange. Dude.
Whoa.
Dude.
Whoa. Just throw out the fingers. Whoa. All right.
Whoa.
So
Through the mystical hands, dude.
Guess who's next, guys? Guess who's next in the queue?
He's
interrupting Ed's flow. That is correct.
Is it one
Bob.
Agent Palmer?
Oh, it is. It is. Agent Palmer. So, to the podcast. To the podcast of Wicked Theories. First off, long-time listener, long-time emailer, love your theories.
Okay.
Now to the news. Yes, the news, because I'm not sure people are interested in who your favorite Smurf is. This past week, Nerdist posted an article that the Imperial March is a lot less evil when played in a major key.
Of course. That would be true.
Yeah.
The major key is a happy key.
Mm-hmm.
The minor key is a little bit more depressing. That's why it's used in more depressing and moody music.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And actually, you were watching videos the other day where it was all about key change.
Right, yeah. There's a whole bunch of videos on YouTube where you can watch the police. Yeah, was it the police? Was every step you take, every breath you take. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Played in minor because it's in a major key, and it's a very happy sounding song, even though the lyrics are actually about
stalking
an ex-girlfriend. So when you play it in a minor key, it sounds a lot more appropriate, and you get the creepiness of the lyrics. So, and there's a lot of songs like that on there. Songs that were in minor keys for a perfectly good reason are now in major keys and sound oddly happy. So, it's something that's for our viewers to our listeners, viewers, to check out.
Okay, so that was the thing I kind of knew overall, but I guess this is a little approach he's switching up here. He's going to give us a couple of newsy kinds of things that he found. So, moving on to arcade stuff, a player discovers the secret menus in Mortal Kombat games after over 20 years. Through a series of button inputs, a player has found previously undiscovered menus that lay dormant in the arcade versions of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. How did they last so long without being discovered? The newly discovered menus were personally...
Read a little faster, dude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But anyway,
the newly discovered.
So his question after all this, I'm going to skip over what exactly all this does, but what's more impressive, that it remained hidden for so long, or that someone invested the time and or happened to stumble upon it? I mean,
were these developers' menus that were like supposed to be kept buried, or something like that?
So let's see. The newly discovered menus.
That's a common enough thing.
The newly discovered menus were personally programmed by MK creator Ed Boon and displayed as the EGB menu. After his initials in the games 1 and 2, the menus allowed you to watch various character endings, input initials directly into the leaderboard, so run debug and diagnostic tests. Right. So it was very much
it was all the developer stuff. Yeah, that's normal. That's in there. That's actually not a big deal.
Yeah, it's really not that big a deal. I think it's just surprising that
it's just like, what do we have that's news?
Yeah, really, kind of a little bit.
But that's the quality of a lot
stuff
of news
that's
these
like
days.
It's like demo kind of modes and shit like that. So I don't know. The fact that no one stumbled upon it, is kind of interesting. But then again, I didn't know that people were either actively trying to hack old school games like that. But no, it's kind of nerdy. We'll let it slide. It's geek enough.
I'm sure the tools back in the 90s weren't available to the public.
Well, there you go.
To do this kind of stuff. Nowadays, you hear about this kind of thing happening all the time.
Right.
So it's really no surprise. It's just, I guess, a slow news days for some people.
Yeah, for some sites. Lastly, there's a rumor going around the internet that Ben Affleck rewrote the Batman vs. Superman script in his Batman costume.
I did see that.
Yeah, so he's got the little encapsulation here from the article from U.S. Weekly. The Oscar-winning screenwriter would, quote, go into wardrobe and get all suited up for the day in his Batman suit, explains the insider. Then he would sit around reworking the script. Ben wasn't thrilled with it and would find himself on multiple occasions fixing it the day of. While it's worth noting that Affleck was tinkering with the Batman vs. Superman script even into the shooting of the film, it's really not that unusual. And sadly, this probably wasn't Affleck getting into his costume just to feel Batman enough to write that dialogue. It's much more likely that Affleck had to get the cape and cowl on for the day's shooting, and then you're not going to sit there and take it off and take it off, So here's Palmer. Palmer's question to that is, aside from the story, is there any other character-based movie you would like to know was written in costume? Which is an odd kind of way to put it. I would say there's, I would rephrase that question. I'll say, is there any kind of movie that
I don't think we would know, because I think anybody who would do that and admit it would be seen as being a little strange.
Yeah, I'll go with Deadpool.
Here's my script. I wrote it in my underoos.
Yeah, right. And fair enough. Deadpool, right? I could see him doing that all damn day. It would be
even funnier.
Yeah, actually, that's one guy who could probably.
He's done so much extracurricular with the suit on that
Out of this, we can predict a scene. Wicked Theory Podcast is going to predict a scene for Deadpool 2 where Deadpool will be so meta as to stop, get the script, make a change in the script, and that'll change the movie or the scene. I mean, if you how meta you want to get. But,
that would be hilarious.
But that's something you can see him doing. Wait a minute, give me that. Where's the script? Where's the papers?
Hysterical. That would really be breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, you don't get much more than that.
That would be great. I really wish that they would do that, but I doubt they will.
Something like where the camera stops. You can go really, bar karma, welcome to the community, episode 10 or 11. And stop, and then show people on staff working, and then pull the camera back around to the other side.
That would be great.
So, there's a BK reference for Grant. All right.
Yeah, I think he's about the only person who's going to get that one.
Palmer will get to it too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
just anybody else interested, just go look up Bar Karma online.
So, if you could rewrite any movie, but you'd have to be dressed as a major character, what movie would you choose, and which character would you be dressed as?
I'm sorry, repeat the question?
Sure. If you could rewrite any movie, but you'd have to be dressed as a major character, what movie would you choose, and which character would that mean you'd be dressed as?
So basically, you would be the main character.
Right. Like if you wanted to rewrite Friday the 13th, in order to do that, you'd have to be dressed
as Jason, probably. Or
yeah.
Yeah. Or in
what
the
an odd fucking question.
Yeah.
I love it though. I love it.
Definitely.
It's making me think. It's making me think. Because I guess you start with what movie do you want to rewrite? Like what movie does not really work that you feel like you got a better angle.
That's what I'm trying to think.
I mean, I wouldn't want to do one that I would want to rewrite. I would just want to pick one that I already liked, and I'd want to be that guy in that movie.
Okay.
That'd be a lot easier.
Sure.
To sit there and say, which movie sucks so bad? I feel like I could rewrite it with me in the leading role. Good Will Hunting.
Easy out. Easy out. Hey, good for you.
A couple of losers wrote that one and won an Oscar.
What am I wearing? T-shirt and jeans? I'm good.
From what I understand, they wrote it smoking pot and laying around all day.
There you go. So if I had to, I would say Die Hard. All right, so following a similar thing, I could just wear some nice, comfortable.
You would
things.
jump off a building,
right? It doesn't say I got to do stuff.
It says you got to be the lead character.
It says I just got to dress like them.
You got to run across broken glass, jump out a window,
in his head,
it's
like if you want
to, motherfucker.
Oh, you're breaking the rules. All right, get out of here. I'm not even going to bother you, Dominic, with this nonsense.
Please, thank you.
You know what I mean? Have any of you ever? Okay, I'm sorry. This one's from Ed. We're back to Ed real quick. Have any of you ever applied body spray with your clothes on? Isn't that the?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like a replacement for cologne. It's a cheap replacement for cologne.
Yeah, I think that. And
I put it on over my clothes so that the cheap scent is still lasts as long as it's gonna. People actually gonna be able to smell it.
Yeah, and doesn't Axe? Isn't that like what they show you in the commercials anyway? It's like everybody's kind of dousing themselves before they leave a room, like 5 points. And it's like whatever that motion is that the X make the X.
And
or
it's
some
like
shit.
the pits, the nips.
All the good spots.
And the crotch, right?
Oh, you got to get the crotch.
Or
with
the neck.
Axe. Don't hit the crotch with the axe. All right. So, gentlemen, we have an email from overseas.
We do. Really?
We do. This is international, and this is real. From our buddy Brian Hughes in Scotland.
Oh wow! Hey Brian.
Hey Brian.
What's up?
Greetings, and I'm still enjoying your pod. Long may it continue. Loving Bob's musical noodling too.
Oh wow! Thanks.
Which comic book character who hasn't yet appeared in film would you like to see in a movie or on TV? And who would take the role? And who would you like to see direct?
Well,
okay.
That's a good question.
What's the first part of that again?
So the first part is which comic book character who hasn't appeared in film
would you like to see on film?
Right, in a movie or TV.
Okay.
So from comics, for me right now, I could really kind of like see Moon Knight. There was a last run of Moon Knight written by Warren Ellis. I'm really big on that. I feel like could really work as a really kind of quiet, dark noir kind of thing, which. If they follow kind of like the angle of the book would be just feel very different where it's just like you just watch. It doesn't really hand you everything. You got to think. But anyway, I feel like that's something in for that to direct it. I'd say maybe Cary Fukunaga, if I'm saying correctly.
Ooh, cool.
From the first season of True Detective.
Yes, that would be great.
And to be... buddy Mark Spector, I'd say, you know who might be good? I'll just say because it came to my head is actually, although he's busy, from Game of Thrones.
Kit Harington?
Nah, he lost his hand.
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Deadpool?
Deadpool's not on that?
Yeah, Baby Hand.
Baby Hand. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Baby Hand. I can't remember his name right now. The Cersei's brother.
Oh, Jamie Lannister. I
mean, I'm not sure if that's 100% of a pure fit, but that's kind of like who came to my head just now. And rather than kind of overdwell, I feel like that would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. This like all my favorite characters for the most part have gotten like. So I guess it's more geared to superheroes, right? The question.
I mean, it's comic book character. You could say Saga to that, or maybe some book that like that kind of a thing.
Well, then that's a whole other question, I think. But
fair enough.
I'll stick with superhero, and I'll go with.
Because Jessica Jones is almost not a superhero in a way,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? So it's a gray area. I think you got wiggle room,
right? Wow, fuck. I'm trying to think, man. Fucking
good question.
Giant Man.
Wow, that's
Giant Man.
He is, and he's.
We just had the movie with Ant-Man, so
right.
Think about it. It's like do Giant Man. You could basically do a Godzilla movie with a superhero.
Sounds good to me. I'd love to see like the Avengers version of like man in suit, which is the giant guy stomping around sets. As goofy as it'll get. You know what I mean? There could be some fun there.
Maybe it's the sequel to the Ant-Man
It doesn't
movie.
have to be about him being 60 feet tall all the time.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
10 feet's good enough.
No.
Yeah.
I was just saying, maybe make it the sequel to the Ant-Man movie.
There you go. Well, the chances are they're going to do more embiggening.
I think that.
There's my word again.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Embiggening.
That
someone else.
He's going to pop up and he's going to literally pop up in Civil War.
I see what you did.
The Simpsons. They use that word, embiggened.
Yeah. I knew I picked it up somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm completely fucking stumped, man. I have no idea. Because I'm trying to think all my favorite like Marvel DC characters have for the most part been in movies and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, your mythology is a little bit.
I was thinking Inhumans,
better.
but
I'm trying to think of stuff that you're reading.
So I would say Giant Man, Zack Snyder.
Well,
$300 million budget.
That's it.
Yes.
Well, I don't want them to have to go worldwide to make money.
I don't know. For you should probably think harder about something coming out of Image that you read. Like Descender, even though it's coming, kind of. You know what I mean? One of those books that you kind of read that isn't getting any love.
Yeah.
What about Huck?
Huck?
Nah, I don't dig Huck enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's not like.
It feels very thin.
Yeah. But I think it would make a good.
Oh, it's
story.
coming though.
Good, it definitely makes a good story. It's in development.
I mean, I'll go with right now. I'm reading Jacked. I'd go with Jacked.
Yeah. Okay. That's great.
Yeah, that's actually a good one.
I would go with.
We're all kind of digging. Jacked, not Citizen Jack.
No, I know.
The one with
that would be a good property for a movie.
Absolutely.
And I would like to see
everyday person with superpowers for a few minutes or whatever at a time.
Yeah. Well, as long as the medication.
Yeah, you could just go with different people.
That's true too.
You could just don't have to be one person.
Yeah, it does seem like a thing in that book where it's like it's available.
Right.
Like other people will probably take
Yeah, he's got the pills in his cupboard, so someone else is going to be able to get the pills.
Who would be a good guy to play that guy, though?
Seth Rogen, probably.
Yeah, actually, maybe
no,
Seth Rogen.
I'm thinking more your guy, Jim Belushi.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little up there.
enough.
Well, he's a little up there now, but I see where you're going with that because it's like the kind of like guy who's a little overweight.
A little past his prime.
A little older than Seth.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seth is good if you're making it a little bit more comedy side.
Oh, yeah, what about... what's his name? You know what I'm saying.
Paul Giamatti?
Paul Giamatti wouldn't be bad.
He probably wouldn't be bad.
No.
He would work, I think, for the character, but he's not funny enough. But fuck this. Let's move on.
We do have to move on. No insult to Brian. Brian Hughes, good email, buddy.
Yeah, good question.
Cheers, Brian. Cheers. And then our last one.
Enjoy your haggis.
Hey, yous guys. Steph here.
Steph. All right.
I'm gonna read it like she's because she starts
because she does Gotham Lights. She thinks she can
she's
talk
from the
like
city.
this.
She thinks she's from the fucking boroughs and shit.
Where's she from, anyways?
She's from fucking Arkham.
Oh, forget about it.
She's from Arkham Island.
Oh.
All right, now she is Arizona, I believe.
Yes.
That's right. There's no postage. There's
Great-
no return
great friend.
postage stamp on this. So I don't,
Great friend.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
So now,
I never
if she's
said
in
I was
Arizona,
great.
we know that a Mexican didn't write this.
Listen, you. So, hey, you guys, Steph here with another email from the gym. I didn't have time to prepare a good list of questions this time around, but I did come across a tweet from Bill this morning about an even better idea for Fuller House. So, Bill, do you care to elaborate, please? Excellent show last week. Glad you liked my
Fuller Lead House.
Excellent show last week. Glad you liked my email. I'll try to have more for you next week. Have a great show, Steph. Sent from my iPhone. No. So I was just saying that, I probably would have watched Fuller House if it was actually more about the actual what goes on in the house of Brian Fuller, the show creator for many a TV show. But, I was just feeling backlashes against all the Fuller House stuff that was creeping across my Twitter feed.
I thought it means, Fuller House just meant because they're all now in their 40s and overweight.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is that the reason the house is so fucking full is because nobody's moving out.
Like, I think they just moved back in.
I don't care if they moved back in, whatever. They are there. That's why the house is full.
Yeah,
they're lucky that Danny still had that fucking house.
Remember the way that show opened with the house on the block in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Right? Now you're going to have to go to that house. Zoom into that house, and it's going to be like 12 stories tall, cover 2 blocks.
Well, it's not even. I mean, I feel like the set
it's
is
become
bigger
a
this time
compound.
around. But they're right. Everybody should just really feel for Danny Tanner because he's the one who's suffering and doing it quietly. That guy in the back of his head, right? Every episode should just be like, I just want them all the fuck out. I should have a quiet house at this fucking age.
Well, it would never be like that because everything's got to be all happy. And,
well, don't get me wrong either. Like in the real world, his grandkids would probably be there constantly anyway.
Yeah, but come on. Hey, Grandpa, got any money? What do you mean $5? Come on, it takes 20 to live these days.
Yeah. So anyway, hashtag feel for Danny. All right, that's the hashtag for this week's episode. All right, but thanks to Steph, to Brian, to Ed, to Agent Palmer. Thanks for sending us emails, guys, listeners. If you want to, not just guys, I mean, guys, gals. If you want to send email, if you want to send emails, you can send them to us here at podcast@wickedtheory.com. We don't, send prizes out for any of that shit, but we do read them. I mean, come on,
You get voice recognition.
I read junk mail sometimes. I'm so desperate.
True. So let's move it on to some news.
What?
Right?
All right.
So now it's time for some news.
News.
We're going to kick it off with some comic book news, which we don't get to do too much on this show. Because there's not a whole hell of a lot of it.
Well, let's say it like this. I feel like, you know what, there's always news. There's just not stuff that I feel like, always feel like, do we, like if we cover.
Right, anything that's worth it.
You know what I mean?
Right, and there's not as much of an audience
If you come in here for your comic book news, like in general.
If you're coming here for any news.
Right.
Reevaluate.
Yeah, reconsider.
That's all I got to say.
We're pretty much cherry picking what we want to talk about.
You need to resubscribe to a new cable provider, I think.
So we got 2 bits of comic book news here, and the first one
is 25 cents worth, people. I said 2 bits.
That's right. Don't forget.
2 bits.
2 bits is 25 cents. Just in case anybody ever quizzes you.
So C-3PO.
Yeah.
The guy from Star Wars.
I know
the
him.
robot.
Yeah.
He knows millions of languages.
The guy is like a walking Oscar award.
Right. Oh, there you go.
You like that?
That's good. So Marvel is going to be publishing at the end of next month, March, a C-3PO one-shot comic. It'll just be 1 issue.
Yeah.
And
what's so special about that, though?
It's going to show us.
Yes. Me.
How C-3PO lost his regular arm.
Oh, God. I'm so glad you said arm.
And got the red arm.
The one that's like, I just thought it was diseased.
Right.
I thought he got some kind of infection.
Well, when you thought I was going to say virginity, I think that's what you meant.
Yeah.
So, not that this really means anything much to me.
Right.
Particularly.
Right.
But I know there's some people that are jazzed about it because they're like, what happened to his arm?
Yeah.
They didn't tell us in the movie.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know that we'll get the full story anywhere else.
Well, I think
later on. So
I think this will be the most you're going to get, obviously, because I'm pretty sure it's a double-sized issue. I think it's got 48 pages in it because it's marked down at $4.99.
Oh, it's just a one-shot? It's not like a... Oh, okay.
So it's marked down at $4.99, so I would assume that it's got like around 50 pages in it because that's usually what they do. And I'm reading the article now from Bleeding Cool, and it was supposed to come out as a supplement to The Force Awakens in December.
Ah, yes, when the movie came out.
But something happened, I guess, with the shipment or maybe the publishing of the project. So it got delayed. So it'll be coming out at the end of next month, March 30th. That's a Wednesday.
There you go.
So check it out.
Oh, yeah. Head to your local comic shop.
Comixology.
I guess you call them now and ask them to pull it for you and hold it for you. All the comic shops you've ever seen will do that for you.
They will.
Guaranteed. That is the way of comic shops.
They're good.
They will pull stuff and hold stuff for you, and they love people.
They do. They are people, so they love people.
It's the only business I know that does something like that. That's like you go in there and it's like, hey,
it's technically layaway.
I guess that's a good point in a way.
Except you just don't put any money down on it.
And I can't think of anything else where like people will know what's coming out anyway, like ahead of time.
Well, there's a lot of things.
Yeah, but
not
where
to
would
shoot you down on that too much.
Yeah, but you're not going to see like DVDs doing that or Blu-rays.
That's the thing. That
well,
kind of thing.
You're right. But I'm saying like like if
some of the stuff. Well, here's my thing. Like some of the stuff you can get at other places, right? Mm-hmm. So the most you can do is just order it ahead of time, like on Amazon. Right, you can't go to Spencer's and be like, "Hey, the statue's coming out in 2 months."
No, yeah.
When you get it, order me one. Put it on
with
the
that
side.
particular, genre of merchandise, you mean?
Well, that or I don't know, maybe.
Because I feel like there's other things like like video games or like cars and shit like that.
I guess
you can do that stuff with. I
to
don't
a degree. Yeah, I guess some video game shops will probably do that too, because that's the whole thing with video games, right? It's like pre-buy. Yeah, fair enough.
So, anyways, one more piece of comic news.
Ooh.
One of my favorite writers right now.
Yeah.
He's doing a few books over at Image Comics.
And under the Top Cow.
Under the Top Cow
imprint.
Matt Hawkins. He is, I think he's writing 3 books right now. I read 2 of the 3.
Okay.
And he's going to officially cross all 3 books over.
Okay.
Those 3 books are Postal, which I read, which is one of the best books out there right now.
Okay.
I really dig it a lot. I've been trying to get Bill to read it for a while, but he just always forgets.
I put it down. I was reading it for a while.
The Tithe. Tithe. That's how I was pronouncing it, and then I heard someone say it in the comic shop, Tithe, so I thought that's what it was.
I think if we looked it up, it's Tithe.
It probably is Tithe because
I think I've heard Ben
E
Carson say Tithe.
What was that?
I think I've heard Ben Carson say it, actually.
Oh, he would fit in, right? He'd fit right in this book.
In some of that book, yeah,
Absolutely.
he would.
So I'm not going to go too into what those books are about, but the other one is called Think Tank.
Mm-hmm. Which is a book that actually is one of those ones like on my list. Like I hear good things about, and it's like
that book came out. It was coming out a few years ago. It's been off the shelves, I think, for a little while, and now he's got like another story arc coming out soon. So I think once that comes out is when this is all going.
Okay, that might even be the catalyst.
Yeah. So if you're reading any of those books,
look forward
to it. I'm pretty excited about it just because the 2 of the 3 that I read, they're really grounded. They could easily be set in the same world, in the same place.
Sure.
And I know Mark Millar, however you pronounce it, has done the same thing with a few of his comics in the past. So just look out for it if you're into comics and if you're into any of those books. And if you are into comics and you don't read any of those books that I mentioned, definitely worth checking them out. Yeah.
Go into your comic shop and ask Matt Hawkins. Matt Hawkins stuff. He's got a bunch of he's been writing for a while. He's got a bunch of good concepts. Some of them have short runs, kind of like Miller does a little bit. Mm-hmm. Comes in with good, strong concepts, kind of gets in, gets out. But those are his ongoing ones are really good too. Mm. So in movies.
Movie news.
The news of the movies.
My favorite.
Supposedly Wolverine's going to get this sequel that's coming, and now it's supposedly going to be rated R.
Right. You mentioned that last week, I think.
But supposedly it's got nothing to do with Deadpool's success.
Bullshit.
So supposedly they had put out, like if you go back, you can see that they made the announcement initially that it was going to be rated R the day Deadpool came out. So to say that it has nothing to do with Deadpool's success is still kind of bullshit. Just because you put it out
for months that Deadpool was going to be rated R.
I mean, for a long time you knew it. And how could you not see Deadpool gearing up on its own?
Yeah, it wasn't like there was no buzz around Deadpool being an R-rated movie. So
Right.
No, you're 100% right. Like that was like one of the
talking
best things about Deadpool.
Right. One of the major talking points.
It was the biggest deal because it's a comic book company.
Right. It's like it would go like this.
First
Deadpool,
Marvel movie that's rated R.
The 3 talking points on that are it's Deadpool, it's Ryan, and it's rated R.
Right.
That's it. You know what I mean? So.
Not specifically in that order.
Right. No, but all good things could come out of Wolverine being a rated R movie.
Absolutely.
But we did cover it last week, so just wanted to kind of throw that in there.
Means we get to see blood on his claws.
Yeah, basically it just means you get to see blood. His claws are never bloody. That's true. All
right.
Yeah. All right. So what? But speaking of rated R, Batman vs Superman supposedly when it comes to Blu-ray is going to get a rated R version. My question is
why?
Well, yeah, kind of why, and
that's what I was
how
asking.
much. Yeah, Bobby was saying that same thing, and I am too. But my specific question to that still is, what could it possibly be? Like,
so I'm reading the article on comicbook.com right now, and it says that it's reportedly rated R only for quote scenes of violence. So I don't think it's going to be anything like Deadpool, where it's like, there's sex scenes or there's like F-bombs and all that stuff.
I think that unless you're going to see Batman or Superman rip somebody's friggin' head off, it's all going to be peripheral stuff.
Yeah, it's just going to be,
So it's not going to have anything to do with the show, the story.
Yeah, I think what it is just them saying anything that they thought that in a cumulative way keeps them from getting a PG-13 at the ratings boards, because that's kind of what it is. It's like you go to the ratings board and the rating boards will be like, okay, it's too much violence, it's too much this, so they go back, they trim it down, or they trim it out. Like, you know what I mean? So it's trimmings that you're going to get that equal up to. Right. And this is not going to feel like, and it's cool.
This is cool for me because, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, it depends on how much I like the movie for me to go out and buy the Blu-ray eventually when it comes out in a half a year, whatever that is.
Who's to say, right?
But I mean, you could probably say that this has to do with Deadpool's success also, because they probably had this footage on the shelf and they were like, they might not like it or whatnot. But actually, that's probably not even true, because I remember when Watchmen came out, Zack Snyder,
right?
They did that also, where they had an uncut version.
Yeah,
on the
eventually,
DVD.
They
I don't think Blu-ray was around yet, but
fair enough. Yeah,
they had the DVD with an uncut version, so it might not even have to do with
So it's not so
Deadpool.
unheard of. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think the studios are getting this all wrong with doing these movies now with R-rated versions, because Deadpool is a character that you have to do it R. You can't do it anything less. And everybody in the planet who has anything to do with the comics knew that going in. Right. So when they heard that it was R, it became, great, this is going to be a great movie.
See, but I could argue against that.
Well, you can do it PG-13, but you can't do it the way they did it PG-13.
Right. Just because they have stuff that's technically cutting room floor footage that they're going to put back into this movie isn't necessarily going to make it better. If anything, it could probably make it worse.
Yeah,
because
it could just add bloat.
Right,
it could just add more time that you don't need. Like, you know what I mean? That kind of a thing.
It could add bloat. Sure. It could be stuff. They could end up putting stuff in the R version that was like, you know what, this is not really good.
Yeah.
Just to have it in an R version, and then that belittles the movie.
Well, here's the thing, too. They could be putting back in scenes where it's like, maybe we should trim that back because it seems a little over-intense. That's not exactly how intense maybe we should portray that character at that moment.
Right.
We reshot. You know what I mean? Who's to say?
If you put anything in that could upset the balance that you create in the movie, then you're belittling the movie. You're lessening the movie.
Yeah, and I think there's something also to be said for these, like you were kind of saying, like these aren't rated R concepts to a degree. Right. Batman and Superman really shouldn't be so dark and to the point where they become rated R. Like, you know what I mean? Necessarily.
Right. You could
push the line, but
you could do Batman as an R because you got the Dark Knight and all that. You could, absolutely.
Certain things, okay.
Like in the comics, like the way they were in the Dark Knight, you could do that and do that edgier and make it an R. Superman, not so much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Superman,
feel like it.
Superman is purity.
Yeah,
he's like the virgin of the superhero universe.
Well, you could say like he would remain pure, but everything around him could become a rated R kind of scenario, more or less. Like he's not the rated R guy in that movie.
Okay,
I could say that, and I would throw it back to say this then about Deadpool. Like, keep in mind, like Deadpool's really not a rated R character. Like, he's a rated PG-13 character in Marvel Comics. He's had a couple of max runs, but you could say that about the Punisher. You know what I mean? He's, not inherently a rated R, a character who could only work as a rated R.
But he
works towards it.
Yeah.
Just much like Ghost Rider or Punisher. He definitely leans that way.
Yeah, definitely edgier.
Yeah.
And could definitely benefit from being R.
Absolutely. Certain characters, like Wolverine.
As we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but to put an R, anything R related in a Superman movie has anything to do with Superman? No,
it doesn't. Feel
Wonder Woman too, I think. I mean, you got that subtle S&M thing going on with Wonder Woman, but with the lasso and all that. But no,
that would be overkill too.
Yeah, those two you really
like I said,
can't.
Batman, you can kind of get.
See it. The only thing you're going to see,
and that's the thing with the Deadpool. People were on board with it right away because he's like, okay, he's over the top, so you can feel it. You can feel that. You can see that. But if it had been someone like, I don't know, Jubilee,
Well, maybe not that soft, but if you said,
You know what I mean?
a rated R Captain
Then people
America
are like,
movie,
whoa.
it'd be like, like a rated R Captain America movie or a rated R Iron Man movie.
Right.
It'd kind of be like,
No, you don't do
what
those
the hell's
guys.
going on in that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to keep the ball moving. And speaking of Deadpool a little bit, Domino is rumored to be in the Deadpool sequel. If people don't know who Domino is, she's she's another one of these Rob Liefeld characters from the 90s that popped up during his run on New Mutants and
Isn't she kind of like
X-Force.
Isn't she a little bit like his version of what's her name from Suicide Squad? Harley Quinn.
Visually, you could say that because she's like white skinned with just a big black circle.
Like mime.
Yeah, just a big black circle over one
kinda.
eye. And I forget exactly what her mutant power is. It's not what Dom is pantomiming to me right now.
But she is a bit of a badass.
But she is total badass. And, I believe her powers might be, her mutant power might be luck-based. It might be.
I think you're right.
I'm not
you're
sure.
Right.
Something the reason why the word Domino is somehow related to her name. But she's a mutant mercenary. Definitely runs with Cable too. So it's a whole question of is this kind of back up the idea of Cable
She's
coming in?
She's a bad guy though, right?
She's
a villain.
I think it's luck based.
I
think it's kind of luck based because
I think so.
It's like things happen and a domino effect occurs.
Maybe that's what it is.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
I think that might be
it's not like
long
shot.
Right.
His is just the odds always favor him.
Right.
There's something about the sequence of
if
events.
she can do one thing, it leads to a series of events that'll happen in her favor
maybe
cause the bad guy to get hurt.
Well, yeah, right. It's
something
like
that,
she can pull off 4 moves.
Right.
You know what I mean? And something like that.
Right.
Kids, look it up at home.
Right. Yeah.
I've looked it up.
Yeah. Educate us.
Oh.
I've looked it up.
Did you really? All right.
So Domino is a mutant with the ability to subliminally and psionically annihilate random telekinetic acts that affect probability in her favor by making improbable but not impossible things to occur within her line of sight, thus causing her to have good luck and her opponents to have bad luck.
Oh, okay.
This phenomenon could be anything from an enemy's equipment failure to hitting just the right switch with a stray shot, shut down an overloading nuclear reactor.
Well, there you go.
So all that bullshit's got to happen for her to say she's got luck in her side.
Yeah, well, you've read superhero backgrounds before. Like the whole preamble has to be 25 big words, and then meaning that she can hit the light switch from across the room with a shoe.
Exactly.
Basically.
With her eyes closed, with looking through a mirror.
Yeah, the whole eyes closed and looking through the mirror.
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
So moving on to some TV news.
Moving on to TV. Speaking of superhero stuff, though, you might remember that. No, not there yet. That we were talking about a TV show in production. Well, at the pilot stage.
We have been for a few weeks now. We've been talking about it.
Well, it's come up a couple times. The show Powerless.
Yes.
That we were like, what is that going to be? Which is a workplace sitcom based in the DC universe, but nobody at that job has powers. So it's like Office, but they got the Office, but they kind of get to look out the window and either be enamored or hate all the superhero hijinks that go on in the world outside their window. So the reason we're bringing it back up is because they made some casting news that were like, whoa.
Okay, wow, the show might be actually pretty cool.
They might actually be putting some talent behind it.
So to make all the nerds happy, Alan Tudyk from Firefly.
Right.
And was he in Star Trek also? Is he in the newer Star Trek movies?
The blonde dude?
Yes.
He's from Firefly.
Right.
He's done a lot of Joss Whedon stuff. So he was in episodes, I believe, maybe not Buffy, but possibly.
Okay.
But he was definitely like an Angel and Dollhouse. Right. He was a regular on Dollhouse. He turned out to be one of the bad guys on Dollhouse.
Okay.
But fun
anyways,
chap.
he's a big fan favorite in the nerd community.
Yes.
He makes many appearances. Has made a life's living on making appearances at cons and hanging out with geeks and nerds. So I'm sure this is making some nerds out there very happy.
Also,
Vanessa Hudgens has been cast in it also. Now, I wasn't necessarily happy when they cast Vanessa Hudgens. Because I don't think she's like a great actress or that she's phenomenal actor.
She's working.
But what it did kind of mean, like, hey, she does some shit that is kind of has some notoriety to it. So maybe this will also, you know. So
I think also too it's a sign at the very least. I mean, you know, you might say that as an individual, she could either be. For me, it's take it or leave it with her, but she is at a certain kind of tier to show like what they're shooting.
She was in High School Musical, all right?
I'm not saying
that's how good she is.
I'm not talking about her quality. I'm just talking about where she's kind of perceived.
I'm saying that's how good she is because she was in High School Musical.
That's fine.
She was great.
She was for what it is.
Joking.
She was stupendous.
Kidding,
right? But what I'm just trying to get at is like, you know, it's like they are shooting higher than we first thought that they were going to try for it all.
Exactly.
We thought it was going to be all unknowns.
Exactly.
Right.
So these other two, I haven't really seen much of. Christina Kirk, she was in A to Z. Now I'm not sure what that is or who she is really.
Off the top of my head, I can't recall. And then Danny, I think it's Danny.
Danny Pudi.
Yeah, Pudi, who's from Community.
Community. Yes.
And he's gonna be him and Vanessa probably gonna be the highlights.
Yeah. So it seems here in this article from Newsarama that Vanessa Hudgens will play probably the main character, and she's reportedly going to play an insurance claims adjuster named Emily Locke. She's described as someone who loves her job because she gets to help people and who likes to fly under the radar and just get her work done.
Okay.
Wow. That's some description there.
Some office place employee of the month, let me tell you.
It sounds like our friend Ed O'Hare. Okay. So Danny Pudi, whatever, however you pronounce it, is said to be Emily's primary confidant and best friend at the insurance company. A bit of a prankster. He does so as a way to make their office the least super place on earth. Just a little less unsuper.
Did you ever watch Community?
No, I haven't. But I've heard good things about it.
Sure. I mean, it's one of those. At a certain point, it becomes about guys like you and me. But
okay.
And it's like totally written for us. The Dungeons and Dragons episode alone, like, it's just fucking funny. It's just witty.
Don't do that to me. Don't put me in that class. In that
I know that it's like
being.
the Dungeons and Dragons episode. Really, that's where you want to start. I mean, you could watch the Shootout episode where the whole campus is involved in a paintball gun war. You know what I mean? Okay. And it's basically like reenaction. Every scene is some kind of reenaction from a classic action movie kind of a thing.
Okay, that's cool.
It's all very pop culture referential.
Cool.
But anyway, so we were kind of surprised to see that. So I felt like bringing that up a little bit because it's like, well, here's a thing that.
Now I'm excited for it.
Yeah, now I'm interested. Now I want to know even more. Jean-Claude Van Damme is now going to be set to star in an Amazon original pilot where he'll basically be playing Jean-Claude Van Damme.
So he's going to damn it.
Oh, damn
whatever
it.
Whatever the project is, he's going to damn it.
Yeah, I think that might be the tagline. But so basically he'll be playing a version kind of like of himself, of an aging action star who...
So he wants an acting job where he doesn't have to do much acting.
Yes, but what I'm trying to get at is that he's gonna. It's kind of like one of these meta things a little bit where it's. I don't know if he's playing Jean-Claude Van Johnson. Is that it? But the point being that like he's gonna. The idea is that he will kind of be blurring the lines of what's real and what's not. In that like he starts getting himself wrapped up in actually trying to solve real world stuff. I'm fucking talking. He's gonna try and fucking help people and shit, and it's probably not gonna go that well. So it's like an action comedy kind of a thing. Oh. So I just kind of threw that in there.
Sad sack equalizer.
If you've seen JCVD, that movie, which is a really meta thing about him, and it's all a joke. It seems to be a kind of a play on that. So if you kind of dug that. There's more to come from Amazon.
Will he tie his feet to the tops of 2 tractor trailers and then proceed to do a split on top?
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe not the tractor trailers again. Probably switch it up, make it 2 like ocean cruise line boats or something like that. Also, under the TV stuff, we have Iron Fist was cast.
Iron Fist has been cast.
Fist has been cast.
So we officially have our defenders.
And that's it. The team is comprised.
So Finn Jones has been cast as Iron Fist. You might know him from Game of Thrones. He plays Sir Loras Tyrell, the Knight of Flowers, as they say.
And if you don't watch the show, it is as foppish as that sounds.
Yes. Literally,
the Knight of Flowers. So, this is quite the contrast. He is going to man it up. He's going to butch it up, I guess, a little bit.
I guess so.
But, you know, I'm not going to get into all the fucking hoopla about the casting that the internet has kind of decided to keep going. It is what it is for me. It's you know, I'm not going to get all caught up in that shit.
Right.
So moving on, because there's nothing really else to go on with that.
No, just excited about
just excited that they found somebody, you know.
See how they do it.
And we did get the second Daredevil trailer this week.
We did.
We did.
Yes, we did.
And it was fucking good.
It was.
More Elektra. This one focusing pretty much just on Elektra.
Yeah, lots of Elektra on this
and
one. Lots of innuendo.
Dom, don't look at me like that because I'm not her, man.
She's pretty.
She's pretty.
She's a pretty girl.
She's pretty. I feel like the accent kind of comes and goes in the trailer though with her. Like in like one scene, she's like "mal to you,"
yeah.
And then the next one, she's like, I just want to have coffee and a scone.
Now I'm not really big on Elektra's mythology. So is she
Greek?
She's Greek, like supposed to have an accent and everything. Like,
yeah, she's Greek.
Not American.
I believe the last name is Nikotavos or something like that. It's very super Greek last name.
Okay.
I mean, Greek father.
It's
who's
not Katsopoulos like on Fuller House?
No. It's
not going to be a crossover? Italian with
no.
Come on, I think that would work well.
This is telling me more about you. If you want to have any kind of Full House crossover,
I'm just picturing Daredevil and Elektra like breaking down the door and kicking everybody's ass.
Okay, that's fine. That's kind of like where I was just going to go right now. I was like, unless it's nothing but dead bodies, I really don't. Unless the Gibbler's the first to go, I don't want to know. Gibbler should always be the first to go.
Yeah, she's back too. They got everybody back.
Everybody who didn't have
any
work
yeah,
going
we're
on.
working again.
So
yeah, so to kind of put the Daredevil thing, she's Greek, trained by the Hand, so the Hand is back. She says in the trailer, you thought you killed them all or defeated them, but you just kind of pushed them into the shadows. So now here they come, and literally it's like, here they come. Yeah. They're up the wall.
Well, I'm excited for it. Show looks fucking good.
Yeah, it's really holding up.
Amazing.
It looks like they tweaked the Daredevil suit a little bit. It looks a little better.
He's got like some.
He's got very red eyes.
Some eye thing going on that looks pretty badass.
Yeah. Creepy as fuck. But continues to look great.
Yeah. So
I'm keeping my excitement up. So also, moving on is that in the TV stuff is that they may be making some kind of sequel or remake of, well, not sequel, but some kind of TV series out of The Departed. The thing you have to know about The Departed is actually it's based, the whole thing is based on a Japanese action series called Infernal Affairs. And in that movie, it's the basic principle that they used in Departed, which is one good guy is undercover with the mob, and the mob have a guy who's undercover with the cops,
right?
And how that information kind of that cat and mouse that these guys play as they try to figure out who each other are. So now the whole thing, the reason I'm bringing it up is just because, hey, The Departed is a beloved kind of thing, but the chances are that the series will kind
one of my favorite movies of all time.
Will kind of probably just run with that setup, but not be in Boston. It's not going to be like, hey, we're going to try and remake that movie. It's about putting it someplace else. So while it's been announced to
what
degree,
network is that?
I'm not even sure that it's really tied to a network as much as it's like a thing production companies kind of putting some wheels on, or they just got the rights okayed.
Click on the link.
But it's neither a sequel nor prequel. It's going to kind of run on its own. Even though there is some kind of some kind of double talkie conflict, the description and the quote in the article that quite a few sites kind of pointed out.
Let's call it a requel, because they're reimagining the whole show.
That's fine. It's just that's cool. A requel, you could even say that the re is for relocation. The relocate-quel.
Reusing some material over and over again.
Quill. Gotta have the quill. Dom's kind of checking that out, I believe. Also,
yeah, it doesn't really specifically say what network it would be on.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of announcing that the production company or some people are attached.
They're putting the fishing line out in the water and seeing what bites.
Yeah,
kind of. So also Jimmy Smitts.
Yes.
Dom?
I threw this in the doc earlier.
Has been cast in this new run of 24.
Yes.
24, The New Blood. No.
Legacy.
Well, actually, The New Blood would probably be better than 24, Legacy.
So was he supposed to be the child of
No.
Jack Bauer?
No. I'm not
child.
40 years later?
It's going to be a black dude.
In
So
the
I don't
future?
even... No, well, it's going to be a young black guy, so I don't even think he's going to be related
Okay.
to Bauer, and Bauer's not even going to be in it. So...
I don't think there's no real specifics on who or what he'll be playing, but I just thought it was cool to throw it in there.
Well, he's going to be
because
the president.
He's
has Jimmy Smitts ever played the president? It's a good question.
Yeah, actually, I think he was
Star
in
Wars.
Yes, he was in Star Wars. That
he
counts.
He was the president of Star Wars.
No,
all of those stars.
And the wars.
And they're his.
Wasn't he in that the White House show or drama show like 10, 15 years
West
ago?
Wing?
West Wing.
Yeah, he might. You know
might
what?
have.
Yeah, I think
I
he
know-
was.
I
I
know
think he was the
his-
president in that,
No, he
or
was
vice president or something.
But he was definitely high staff. I think if he was on.
Yeah.
I know his big ones is big shows were like L.A. Law.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah, that's the one that
NYPD,
broke him.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then Sons of Anarchy, of course.
Mhm.
But this cast is actually shaping up to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
They got Corey Hawkins is the main.
Right.
He's the main guy. That's the dude from The Walking Dead.
Right.
He plays. I always forget that character's name.
I can't.
Well, if he's on the new show now, I think
Heath.
the thing is he played.
Heath. So he's
No,
going to
he-
die in The Walking Dead.
Right.
Not
Yes.
plays. If
Well, that's
he
exactly
played,
what we said, Bob, when he got
something-
announced
you
initially.
got dead. You're dead on that show, and you can move on.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You can only have the
Contracts
time.
up.
Exactly.
And actually, Teddy Sears from The Flash is on that show.
Teddy
also.
Sears.
That is.
That was what's his name? What's her
Jay
name's
Garrett.
boyfriend? I don't know.
Jay Garrett.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm getting mixed up.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes, he's been cast. That happened a few weeks ago.
So this tells us something about what's going on this season.
Yeah, casting kind of like gives you hints.
Yeah. So I'll leave it
Guess
there.
he won't have any work to do.
So I guess we're going to see the end of Zoom soon. The season's almost
Zoom
over.
soon.
Hey, spoiler.
Zoom soon. Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
Spoiler
spoiler
alert.
casting announcements.
If I
spoil
could
other
mention
movies.
something, I know we're just about done with
Yeah,
TV,
sure.
right? I
Yeah.
just found this on my phone. I thought it was interesting. Let me pull it up here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bob's bringing some scoop.
Yeah,
some news. or
There's a
something.
little. This is from comingsoon.net.
Mhm.
I got to thank Google and
No, you don't.
Marshmallow,
You don't gotta
Android
thank anyone.
6.0 for the update.
Well, maybe Android.
Disney Universe news updates. Right, so it's there is now a production name, a code name for the Justice League movie. It's going to be called Caveman. So anything referencing Caveman is now for the Justice League movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Did begin production
Yes, they began production
during the week.
Yes.
Early
This
on,
was-
I think Monday or Tuesday.
Right. This was reported last night, so this is supposed to be the latest news.
Cool.
I guess it's not that late.
Cool.
So Mad Max, George Miller is attached
Producer.
as a producer for Justice League. What else here? There was. Okay. In the Batman versus Superman movie, the Dawn of Justice, the voice of Doomsday is being done by voice actor Robin Atkin Downs. All right,
I did see all that
yeah.
earlier, but I didn't really think that it. I didn't know who that guy was. That's
Yeah,
Doomsday, I think so.
yeah.
I was
Right.
just like,
Well, yeah,
forget it.
it's not a big deal unless you know that what it goes on to say here is that he's been involved in several DC Comics animated series and feature films and video games. So he's been
So our
he's
buddy
an
Grant might know
experienced
who he is.
he is an experienced
big DC
voiceover
animator.
actor.
Sure.
So maybe that's good.
I guess
there
that
you go.
confirms that Doomsday's in the movie, right? I mean,
Yeah, I guess to a degree.
if we need any more,
In fact, the name-
confirming
Right.
on it,
of that beast. If anybody wasn't sure, I guess, yeah.
you know.
Okay, and then what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg goes on about Lex Luthor, how he's his take on Lex Luthor. He goes on to say he has a kind of charming public persona and then a deeply private rage. This is not only interesting as an actor to play, but I would say more realistic to how extroverted people like this, who are kind of leaders of big organizations, probably feel. You have to kind of put on a public front that appears genial and appears accessible, but you're likely, if you're very ambitious, harboring feelings of competitiveness, envy, and all these other things that we try to avoid in public. So stuff like that is very interesting as an actor to explore. And then kind of coloring in that framework is somebody who's also very clever and funny and emotional and vengeful. So we're going to get a pretty deep Lex Luthor.
Well, yeah, I mean,
evidently.
I guess
evidently. I mean, I hope that sells on screen. That's how deep he's getting. At least we know he's mentally committed to keeping it deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of know where his anger and motivation is coming from for the character. So
there you go. All right, so thanks for the scoopy scoop. And then over in the reboot report, just a couple of things real quick. HBO's Westworld seems like it's been delayed. I was getting really jazzed.
I know that was something you were hyped about.
Yeah, man. It's kind of a bummer for me. I was looking forward to that because I figured we would kind of run something like, Game of Thrones would come back, and then that show would probably start up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how do you have like robots fail every week? And go after the people. You know what I mean?
That's the question.
Because after about 2 weeks, people will be like watching it and they go, "Okay, well, why are people still going to this place?"
That's that's fair. That's always been the question with Westworld in general. It's like, all right, how many glitches has to happen? How many people have to get maimed? It's like it's like Jurassic Park.
I mean, if you did it in Disney World,
no one would know. No one would know.
No, but it would be more interesting to see on TV.
Well, yeah. Well, this is as close as you're going to get to that. Yeah. But
robot Mickey
in Disney
Mouse
World, when people die,
people,
they just hose it down.
Yeah.
So,
animatronic Abe Lincoln from the friggin' Small World thing. Ripping people's heads off and whatnot.
Well, I mean, it could have happened, but you wouldn't know because Disney hides that shit.
Last person's head who got cut off was now frozen somewhere.
There you go. They just put it next to walls.
Well, that's what I was referring to.
Well, yeah. So HBO's Westworld is going to be delayed. I was really looking forward to that, but I mean, I guess if it's if it's all about making a better product, you really can't complain too much. So also, Bob might be interested. Stephen King's The Mist is probably going to come to series. There's been a pilot order put in. I do not recall the network at this moment. Is this going to be
one of those super slow burns like Fear the Walking Dead?
I wonder. See, here's my thing.
4 episodes of just the fog coming in?
I think it's going to be it's kind of like saying some I didn't really read the whole thing to break down on it, but I'm kind of presuming that it's going to be a little bit of an angle where it's post-apocalyptic kind of a thing. This is the big cataclysmic thing that kind of comes along, but it's right. How slow of a creep is going to be? Are we going to start with day 1 of the mist hitting the world, or are we going to at least jump into the point where it's really kind of doing some damage and we start from there? I don't mind a slow burn that starts there. I mind the slow burn that starts at 0 point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like 2 days before everything happens, and you're getting like an hourly update.
Not even the day of, 2 days before. Right, exactly. It's like, let's get to know them first. And it's like, no. We can get to know them as they die.
Yeah. I didn't need to know that guy had his father's pickup truck.
I didn't have to follow him to the doctor's office, or whatever it is. I don't need to know about the kids' grades if we're not going to be going to school anymore. I can figure out the kids are fucking burnout. You know what I mean? I don't need you.
There's other ways of doing it.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So I am kind of looking forward to it because I feel like it could end up being a decent spin on this kind of a trope of the whole world falling apart and kind of stuff like that. Even though, there is something in the mist in the movies. They played ambiguous. You never learn. So I guess we'll get some kind of explanations and shit as we go of what the mist really is. I wonder about Stephen King's involvement down the line, but we'll see. So that's kind of wrap it up for the whole movie, TV, newsy kind of smorgasbordy thing that we do.
Yes, it will.
I have literally nothing else on the docket. So, does anybody want to talk about Flash?
Sure.
I mean, I'm just looking
to wallow in my disappointment.
Like how Jay took off the mask while Jay was holding Jay on Jay's shoulder.
Yeah, this is the spoiler section.
Spoiler section, guys. Sorry.
So we'll come in again.
You can always edit that.
I can always rearrange it, right? I'll put what you said right here, and then we'll come back from that. So, as we were saying, we do some re-edit on that. So this week on The Flash, man, it got. It felt like a thud.
Pretty sweaty.
I mean, it got hot. It's hot and sweaty. But I just feel like, we theorize so much. I wonder if that's what kind of felt like there was some of the punch was kind of taken out of it. Mm-hmm. But although it does at the same time kind of make you question what is actually going the fuck on.
Right.
Who is who.
Is there another Earth involved?
Is there a third Earth? Is there more time travel?
Right.
Who's the copy? Who's the duplicate? Who's the clone?
Right.
Who's the man in the mask? Fucking.
Is Solomon
Where is Dad?
Solomon from Earth 1 residing in Earth 2 to mess with Earth 2?
Where is Zoom?
As Zoom and just conveniently knew what was going on in the park that day, so he was sitting there on that bench.
No, that's a good point that you raised, because now, like, once, we were thinking this whole time that once Zoom's mask comes off, all of our problems will be solved.
Right,
but
exactly.
It's come off and literally raised more questions.
It feels like Lost all of a sudden, doesn't it?
Because in the moment, it was like, that's one of the suspects we had. So it didn't. That didn't have that punch. Mm-hmm. But then a moment later, you're like, oh, wait, what are the implications here? And plus, he drops the body of Jay on the floor. And is like, oh, that just fucks everything up, basically, is what he says.
Right.
Like, there goes my plan.
And now we have to remember also that there is another person in a cage in Zoom's lair who has already tapped out the words, Jay Garrick. Right? So is he another Jay Garrick? Or is he somehow trying to tell Flash something about Jay Garrick?
What if... if as much as I don't want it to be multi-world, but what if this Zoom is going from world to world to world trying to take out Jay Garrick's, and that's one of his things.
Right.
Because that's a kind of like a trope in some of these comic stories and stuff. Is like, a guy who crosses timelines or multiple Earths and taking out versions of himself, trying to be the only one or whatever, or needs to absorb them to keep himself alive.
Maybe that's his true motivation, and he's just decided to mess around with Barry because on this Earth, Barry is the Flash and not Jay Garrick. Where maybe Zoom's whole thing has been to just take speed from Jay Garrick.
And maybe that's the thing. Maybe
he doesn't want to actually kill Barry. He just wants to keep feeding off Barry.
Maybe when we learn about Zoom coming to this version of Earth, right? Like the version of Jay here, or not here, but on Barry's Earth and our Earth is, Jay's no good to him, right? Because he fell onto Barry here. So maybe there is some truth to that. And this whole run with him, the reason he's freaking out is because it's a deviation of what he's used to. Right. He's used to always going after himself, quote unquote. Right. Like, But here the Jay's we got no use for that guy.
It would be crazy to me if, that you're like what you're saying, that there's actually 3 Jay Garricks, and that the third one who's in the Zoom suit is from Earth 3. Let's call it Earth 3.
Okay.
And that's the reason why Barry's got to go over to Supergirl.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
And that's why they're doing the whole Supergirl thing.
Well, maybe that's what kind of like their plan with Zoom allows the Supergirl thing to come in, because if we're going to say,
that Zoom is from her Earth, that'd be crazy.
Not so much necessarily hers, but the fact that hers exists tells you that there's more than 2, right? Right. So it feeds into supporting the Zoom theory of maybe he's running across multiple Earths altogether. You know what I mean? Hers is another one. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So,
which was implied, I think, from the jump.
Absolutely.
Which
just also, by doing the nature of the crossover,
which would also open up the possibility of other portals being opened in Earth 1 to another Earth, and Zoom coming back via another Earth
to. I don't know, because didn't they say they closed all of them last week?
I think they said they
closed them all
for
Earth 2, but there's nothing that says someone from Earth 3 couldn't open a portal to Earth 1.
Well, that's from an outer coming to ours, right? Yes.
And if Zoom is traveling between multiple Earths,
he seems to have the power.
Right, he can just go to Earth 3 and open a portal and come to Earth 1 and start all over again.
This is starting to feel like math.
Yeah.
Not basic math either. Very fast math.
That math where it's like day one, you're like, I'm in the wrong room.
Yeah. It was like the time I decided to take a calculus class in college.
Yeah. And you're like, I thought calculus meant calculator. Yeah. And they're like, well, yeah, but that's not going to really help you think. Fuck. All right, so.
I'm calculating on getting a failing mark on this class that I'm paying for.
Not to overdwell, because, it's Flash Talk, and we pretty much kind of hit the button there. Do we have anything else on that? Is anybody? I mean, we're psyched, we're jazzed.
I think that, one last thing on the Flash that I guess now it's more apparent to me that the guy in the mask is probably some variation of Henry Allen. Okay. I would think, because if you got fucking Hunter Zolomon out there somewhere. If Hunter Zolomon isn't Zoom, right? That's one Jay Garrick. Then you got Zoom Jay Garrick. That's two. And then you got two Jay Garrick. That's three.
Yep.
So if the guy in the Iron Mask is Jay Garrick also, then we got fucking 4 Jay Garricks. And that's when I stopped watching The Flash.
Because I can't keep track. Well, you know what? You make a valid point, right? If the Jay Garrick, he fucking scoops up. If Zoom is legitimately a Jay Garrick,
right?
He is either from another Earth,
if he's
third
not,
Earth,
if they're not pulling like a thing that they did last year with fucking Earbud Thorne inside Harrison Wells' body,
right, disguised as. If he's not disguised as Jay Garrick,
oh wait,
then
I just had another idea.
Fuck, another layer coming in. Right, that holds that that third one is either from another planet, a version of Earth rather, or from a different point in some timeline of either of those two.
But that third one doesn't exist if Hunter Zolomon isn't. If Hunter Zolomon is Zoom.
Wait, what about
Earth
if?
one.
What about if?
Correct. I am mapping it out as we go.
I love how Bill needs to write out a diagram to understand the whole thing.
No, wait. What about this? What if my earlier idea of him going to multiple Earths is correct? But what if Zoom also has the genetic damage from the speed serum? Okay, so maybe he's collecting Jay Garrick's as a way of figuring out what's wrong with him. And in the meantime, to keep himself alive, he keeps getting more speed force.
Okay. Yeah, I mean...
for some reason.
Yeah. It kind of holds. We were talking about that too, at work, about Zoom's... The issue of whatever is wrong with Zoom is it seems like there's more to it, and it makes sense because we said it earlier, like when we were like, oh, okay, Hunter Zolomon, right? It kind of makes sense. Like Jay kind of is like fizzling out with his power. Zoom's got some issue with his power, so that kind of like maybe there's more to it right there. Like it's something across the board. Like as much as our Jay Garrick, the one that we met, thought it was just because of his addiction or whatever, he just for whatever reason just can't maintain the power for forever.
Right. And now that we have the stable version of the serum, what is that going to mean for going forward for all these people that are from the universe?
Well, who
aren't speedsters here on TV but have been speedsters in this comic.
Right. Well, that's the thing moving forward because now next week we're going to get some other speedster
trajectory,
and
is that a made up one for TV? I don't know.
I think she's from the comics.
I think she's from the comics. I'm sure they've jumped it around, whatever her origin's going to be. But Jessie eventually, her own self, Wells' daughter, is Jessie Quick. So eventually,
who knows
at some point,
if she's going
if they'll follow through with it, maybe not.
And at one point in the Flash's history, Wally West was the Flash. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, I'm thinking of it now. That could still be Wally in that fucking tank in Zoom's room, because if he's got. If that room is meant to lock up speedsters, who's to say that guy in that cage with that mask isn't a speedster at some level? Maybe if it is Barry's dad, he's a speedster on Earth too.
Right. If it's Wally West, Wally's a speedster who now doesn't have his powers and is stuck in there or something.
Or has them, but he's just stuck. Because remember, Barry couldn't get out of it. Had his powers while he was inside it, but couldn't get out. I was going to say something, and now I do not recall.
See ya.
Yeah, we could wrap it up. I was gonna. Oh, no, almost had it.
Jay Garrick, Henry Allen, Flash,
Jay Garrick, Henry Allen,
Speed,
Flash,
CW, DC Comics,
DC Comics,
superheroes, Stan Lee.
There's something about moving forward. Something about
moving forward. That's what the first volume of The Flash, New 52, is called.
Well, you don't get any more fucking
double on
ironic or whatever than that. All right, that's it. Whatever it is ain't important anyway. It was more story theory.
As soon as we close the mics, you're going to
we'll be like, oh, yeah, you know what? And then we'll be here for 20 minutes after the show. All right, so I think we're going to wrap it up. We're going to call this one done. We're at a decent length. We're not like 2 hours this time.
Good.
So to all the kids out in Kidland.
In podcast land.
In the land of pods and casts. If you want to follow any of us, you can follow...
What would you answer this?
Yeah, just give it up. You can follow Bob on Twitter at Bob@WTPC. You can follow Dom on Twitter at Dom_Torre, Torre.
Yes, sir. And you can follow Bill.
That's me.
On Twitter at Wicked Theory.
Oh, oddly enough. And you can find the show and all that stuff. We're on Tumblr and Twitter.
And send us some emails, guys.
Yeah,
please.
Podcast.
If you guys watch The Flash, you guys watch Walking Dead or whatever we usually talk about on the show, you have any theories, you have anything to say that, you guys are stupid, you guys fucking suck at theorizing.
Yeah, you guys are
You've gotten The Flash wrong the past 2 years in a row, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah, you guys
just email it to us. Just let us know.
Just let us know. Just tell us how bad we are.
Exactly.
Not less praise, more haze.
That's good.
You like that?
That's a yearbook quote right there.
I think so.
All right, Bob. Play us on out.
Play us on out, sexy man.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was that Jay Garrick he's gonna pop up, but it's gonna be Zoom. Like Zoom is gonna pop up there because I was telling you this last week that he's gonna pretend to be Jay. Right. Hey, I'm fine, everybody. I got out. I snuck out. I managed to get free. And it's because he needs to now do it himself. Like whereas, for whatever reason, when he throws Jay on the floor, Jay's dead body, he's like, "Damn, this sucks. This ruins my plan." Basically. So now he's gonna have to go undercover, and only the audience will know that it's Zoom, and we'll all be sitting there like, "Oh my gosh, what's happening?"
Like they did last year with Harrison Wells.
Basically. All right, that's it. That's a wrap. Hey, pod listeners. We post new episodes every Monday. And if you're looking for other places to listen to the Wicked Theory podcast, well, we've got some options for you. You can find us on the Wicked Radio Network, the Tangent Bound Network, iTunes, and the Apple Podcast app that's built into every iPhone and iPad. We're on Stitcher, TuneIn, Libsyn's podcast source app, Player FM, and soon Google Play. Of course, you can also hear full episodes at wickedtheory.com and on our Facebook page. As always, please subscribe, rate, and review where and when you can. That's what actually helps us to get exposure and new listeners. If you want to reach the show, you can send questions, comments, or any other little thing your heart desires to podcast@wickedtheory.com.
Yeah.
That should be on it.
That's got to be on the end of every one.